I've had
passed the Dam Safety Bill 2019. I lay a copy of the bill on the table.
Honorable members, I have an announcement to make. I have to inform members that I have received letters dated 2nd and 5th of August 2019 from Surendra Singh Nagar, Sri Sanjay Seth, members representing the state of Uttar Pradesh, and Sri Bhuvanesh Kalita, member representing the state of Assam, respectively resigning their seats in the Rajya Sabha. I have accepted the resignation with immediate effect from the 2nd and 5th of August 2019 after having met the members personally, inquiring from them and verifying their handwriting and then asking them whether they have any rethinking. They confirmed that they are doing it voluntarily, genuine, and they wanted it to be immediately accepted. Hence, I have accepted the resignation of the three and asked the Secretariat to three members. So, honorable members, I have to, please, Shanti. I have to inform members that Business Advisory Committee in its meeting held on 2nd August 2019 has allotted time for government legislative business consideration passing of the Jammu Kashmir Reservation Second Amendment Bill after its introduction 2 hours, consideration passing of the following bills after they are passed by Lok Sabha: Dam Safety Bill 2019 to 2 hours, Chit Funds Amendment Bill 2019 2 hours, Supreme Court Number of Judges Amendment Bill 3 hours. Statement of the Minister correcting the answer, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman to lay.
I rise to lay on the table a statement in English and Hindi correcting the answer to Unstart Question 830 given in the Rajya Sabha on 18th December of 2018 regarding electoral bonds purchased. Thank you.
माननीय सदस्यगण, भारतीय गणराज्य का सबसे बड़ा मंदिर है यह संसद भवन अपने 92 स्वर्णिमा वर्ष पूरा कर चुका है। विश्व के सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र के इस मंदिर के भवन से सभी राजनीतिक निर्णय लिया जाते हैं। स्वतंत्रता के बाद से अब तक लोकतंत्र के बढ़ते स्वरूप ने देश की इस सबसे पवित्र और महान धरोहर का उत्तरदायित्व भी बढ़ाया है और इससे देश की अपेक्षाओं का विस्तार भी किया है। ऐसे में यह हम सबकी आकांक्षा है कि विश्व के सबसे बड़े गणतंत्र और सबसे विशाल लोकतंत्र का संसद भवन सबसे भव्य और सबसे आकर्षक बने और इसके लिए मैं देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी से, सरकार से, हम सबके ओर से आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि भारत की आजादी के 75 वर्ष की 2022 तक पूरा होने पर नव भारत के उनके संकल्पों में संसद भवन का विस्तार और आधुनिकीकरण को भी सम्मिलित किया जाए। मैं सदन के सभी सदस्यों के तरफ से देश और सरकार को यह विश्वास दिलाता चाहता हूं कि संसद की पवित्रता और गरिमा का अक्षुण्ण रखा जाएगा। The sum and substance of this is because I don't know whether there was arrangement. The Parliament has become pretty old building, and we are seeing now and then some thing or other happening. So there has been a request by members since long. I was a minister of earlier, I was urban development minister also, parliamentary minister also. We met number of times to modernize the building with all the facilities which are comfortable for the members. So we will be appealing to the government to consider. After that, before taking a final decision, they will consult us also, Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha, to make it a more comfortable, more functional and more useful for the members with all the modern facilities. That is the observation I have made for information. Honorable members, I have received a notice under 267 by Sri Ghulam Nabi Azad ji, leader of the opposition, and some other members also, Sri Ram Gopal Yadav ji bhi hai, or Viswam, and then Sri Sanjay Singh, and Karita ji ka naam bhi tha pehle usme, but unhone istifa diya, istifa ko स्वीकार किया, तो इसलिए वो तो आएगा नहीं. तो Elmar and Karim, I have gone through the subject. Subject is definitely important, but what I am suggesting is that I have received a letter from the Honorable Home Minister of India that they want to introduce an amendment bill in the House, Jammu Kashmir Reservation Second Amendment Bill, that we have already circulated also, and also have some more legislations government want to propose. So the subject is the same. So I suggest these issues can be raised during the discussion. As the chairman, I have waived the requirement of the rule of advance notice and then circulation beforehand and all. As the matter is very important and serious, I have decided to waive that rule according to the power given to the chair, power given to the chairman, and then I will be asking the minister to first introduce the bill, and then during the discussion, all the issues raised by LOP and others can be discussed at length, and I will be allowing them to give reasonable time also, particularly for the members who have raised the issue, because we don't have 0 hour, and we cannot entertain that, because this session is basically extended for completing the legislative business proposed by the government. You are all aware of it. So I call upon Sri Amit Shah to move for leave to introduce Jammu Kashmir Reservation Second Amendment Bill. Please. I have already said it.
सभापति महोदय,
Yes. Please, बैठ जाइए. याद रहो, रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जाएगा. LOP speaking वो रिकॉर्ड में नहीं जाएगा. आप लोग बैठ जाइए, please.
The entire valley is under curfew. Some parts of the Jammu Kashmir वो भी कर्फ्यू के अंदर हैं, कश्मीर कर्फ्यू के अंदर हैं. 3 चीफ मिनिस्टर्स और दूसरी पार्टियों के लीडर्स सभी हाउस अरेस्ट थे, और पूरे स्टेट में एक ऐसा वातावरण जैसे वार सिचुएशन है, उसको सबसे पहले उस पर चर्चा करनी चाहिए.
ये बिल के साथ
पास करेंगे.
3 बिल्स आ रहे हैं.
बिल को हम पास करेंगे.
3 बिल्स आ रहे हैं.
चर्चा करेंगे.
एक रेजोल्यूशन भी आ रहे हैं. ये सभी विषय उसके साथ
की नोटिस हमने
मिलकर हम चर्चा कर सकते हैं.
सभापति महोदय, मेरा ये कहना है, चर्चा होनी चाहिए. सभापति महोदय, मेरा ये कहना है, संकल्प और डील लेकर आया हूं. विषय पर है. सभापति महोदय, जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए जो कुछ भी चर्चा करनी हो, विपक्ष के नेता को और समूचे विपक्ष को और सत्ताधारी पार्टी के लोगों सब पर मैं तैयार हूँ. सब चीजों का मैं जवाब देने के लिए भी तैयार हूँ, और डिटेल आप न हो, मैं जवाब देने के लिए तैयार हूँ. मगर मैं जो
नो डिस्प्ले ऑफ बैनर्स, प्लीज.
गुलाम नबी जी, मुझे सुनिए.
बोथ ऑफ यू आर important members. You can protest.
Sir,
that is not the way.
माननीय गृहमंत्री जी, आप
Home Minister,
नबी जी, मुझे
nothing
सुनिए.
else will go on record except Home Minister. He is saying he is ready to answer. What is your problem? Please.
अरे भाई,
No, I have already given my ruling on this. What is the point of order? No, what is the rule? No, please, not every day. Every day it's not happening. Please, you can't speak without my permission. Sri Madhusudan Mistri ji, आप वरिष्ठ हैं, कृपया बैठ जाइए. आप बैठ जाइए. पुनिया जी बैठ जाइए. What is the rule?
sir, point of order.
Everything will come for discussion. Everything will come for discussion. What can I do? You are all friends.
Sir, my point of order is on Rule 69. Sir, Rule 69 allows the chairman to use his discretionary power to introduce a bill on the same day without circulating it, without members reading it. It allows you the power, sir. It allows you the power. I have no quibble on that. Sir, my simple point is, sir, but the rest of the 69, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first 4 lines, sir, on that I appeal to you, sir, to please, when these bills are circulated, please allow us the time to read these bills, to understand these bills. For example, this is a good bill.
Right.
But when we are not given the time, sir, I appeal to you, you have the power to circumvent all. But we feel deprived, sir.
I got your point. Please, I
Thank you,
respond.
sir.
I got your point. There is a reason. I do admit that members need time to read it. So even after the minister introduced the bill, the members will be given an opportunity to give amendments up to 12:30 today. Any member on any bill, they can give amendments. Then there will be also time available to you even to study also before you speak. That arrangement has been made, and I'm saying it officially, it will go on record. Members can, once the bill is introduced, members can move amendments and also start applying their mind. Because we have only 2 days left, so we have to understand the importance. Aapka leader ne bola, Dora ji, aap kyun yaar? He is capable, I heard him, and also have taken it positively. So it's not, Anandji, it's not only that bill. There are 2 bills and 1 resolution also. Once they come before you, then you start reacting on that. Home Minister.
बिल के खिलाफ नहीं है।
Agreed.
हमने कहा बिल के खिलाफ नहीं है।
Agreed.
लेकिन 267 जो हमने नोटिस दी है,
उसका भी जवाब होगा।
कश्मीर में उसको 1-1.5 घंटे में डिस्पोज आप करके माननीय गृह मंत्री
मुझे
का जवाब
5 मिनट
दे
सुनिए।
दें और हम बिल ले लेंगे।
नहीं।
गुलाम नबी साहब मुझे 5 मिनट सुनिए।
रूलिंग देने के बाद फिर चर्चा नहीं होगा।
मुझे 5 मिनट सुनिए।
Please, you are the leader of the opposition. You are well aware of the rules. You raised a relevant point. It's important. Country is also taking note of the same what is happening and all. It is the duty of the government to explain to the House. The Home Minister told me that he is going to explain it, and he says now itself he is going to explain it. Let us first hear him and let the bill also be moved, and then we discuss. Please, बैठ जाइए. You know, आप बैठ जाइए please, कृपया आप बैठ जाइए. श्री अमित शाह, Honorable Home Minister. Nothing else will go on record other than Home Minister. Other than Home Minister, nothing else will not go on.
सभापति महोदय,
शिवाजी प्लीज बैठिए. रंगराजन प्लीज सिट डाउन.
मैं आज जो रिवाइज अपना बिजनेस का लिस्ट है उसके अंदर आपने मुझे व्यवस्था दी है कि मैं 2 संकल्प और 1 बिल जो प्रिंटेड बिल रूल बिजनेस के अलावा मैं प्रस्तुत करूं. मैं चारों चीजें एक साथ प्रस्तुत करूंगा. इस पर डिटेल से चर्चा करेंगे और उसके बाद में मैं जवाब भी दूंगा और चारों पर एक के बाद एक कर डिवीजन करना है तो डिवीजन. मगर मुझे भरोसा है कि चारों चीजें पर एक सहमति हो जाएगी तो हम इस पर चर्चा कर वोटिंग करेंगे. माननीय गुलाम नबी आजाद जी ने जो कहा कि कश्मीर की आज की जो स्थिति है उस पर चर्चा करनी चाहिए, मैं उनसे एक ही निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि चारों 2 संकल्प और 2 बिल जो लेकर आए हैं वो कश्मीर इश्यू पर ही है. उस पर आप अपना विचार रख सकते हैं. इस वक्त कश्मीर की आज की स्थिति पर भी रखिए, उस पर भी मैं जवाब दूंगा. अब मैं एक के बाद एक संकल्प और बिल.
I have permitted the Home Minister, please.
महोदय मैं संकल्प प्रस्तुत
In my
करता
own
हूं.
wisdom, I have permitted. It's very important, serious issue.
महोदय
It will come to you. One after another, it will come to you, please. Come.
महोदय मैं संकल्प प्रस्तुत करता हूं कि ये सदन अनुच्छेद 370(3) के अंतर्गत भारत के राष्ट्रपति द्वारा जारी की जाने वाली निम्नलिखित अधिसूचनाओं की सिफारिश करता है. संविधान के अनुच्छेद 370(3) के अंतर्गत भारत के संविधान के अनुच्छेद 370 के खंड 1 के साथ पठित अनुच्छेद 370 के खंड 3 द्वारा प्रदत्त शक्तियों का प्रयोग करते हुए राष्ट्रपति संसद की सिफारिश पर यह घोषणा करते हैं कि यह दिनांक जिस दिन भारत के राष्ट्रपति द्वारा इस घोषणा पर हस्ताक्षर किए जाएंगे और इसे सरकारी गैजेट में प्रकाशित किया जाएगा, उस दिन से अनुच्छेद 370 के सभी खंड लागू नहीं होंगे सिवाय खंड 1 के नामक तदनुसार पढ़ा जाएगा। संविधान के समय समय पर संशोधित बिना किसी संशोधन और अपवाद के जम्मू और कश्मीर राज्य पर लागू होंगे। इस बात के सिवा अनुच्छेद 152 अथवा अनुच्छेद 301 में नहीं किसी अपवाद अथवा इस संविधान के किसी अन्य अनुच्छेद अथवा जम्मू और कश्मीर संविधान के किसी अन्य उपबंध अथवा कोई कानूनी दस्तावेज, निर्णय, अध्यादेश, उपनियम, नियम, विनिमय, अधिसूचना, रीति रिवाज अथवा भारत के भूभाग में कानून के प्रवर्तन अथवा कोई अन्य लिखित संधि अथवा समझौते जैसे अनुच्छेद 363 के अंतर्गत परिकल्पित हो अन्यथा न हो। माननीय सभापति महोदय, मैं संकल्प प्रस्तुत करता हूं कि यह सभा भारत के राष्ट्रपति की दिनांक 19 दिसंबर 2019 की उद्घोषणा के अनुरूप जम्मू और कश्मीर की राज्य की विधायी शक्तियां इस सदन में निहित होने एवं राष्ट्रपति द्वारा भारत के संविधान अनुच्छेद 3 के प्रावधान के अंतर्गत जम्मू और कश्मीर पुनर्गठन विधेयक 2019 को सदन के सम्मुख विचार के लिए संबोधित करने पर यह सदन जम्मू और कश्मीर पुनर्गठन विधेयक 2019 को स्वीकार करे और इसको व्यक्त करे। महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू और कश्मीर पुनर्गठन विधेयक 2019 को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए। महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू और कश्मीर आरक्षण अधिनियम 2004 और संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की परमिशन दी जाए।
Amit Shah to move for leave to introduce Jammu Kashmir Reservation Second Amendment Bill. Reservation Second Amendment Bill.
महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर आरक्षण अधिनियम 2004 का और संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक पर विचार किया जाए।
The question is that the leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Discussing over the reservation bill. Try to understand. Please. We are only discussing what I am opinion is, I am coming to the
Hello and welcome to this special broadcast on the announcement made by Union Home Minister Amit Shah on the floor of the Rajya Sabha a few minutes ago. Certain provisions in the Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. The government led by Narendra Modi in its second term wishes to make certain changes in some of those provisions that grant certain administrative autonomy to the state of Jammu and Kashmir as the operation in the fact that the state has enjoyed special status over the course of the 70 years of the Indian Republic. You had the Home Minister rise to present some of these proposals. He was supposed to present a couple of other bills as well on matters relating to reservation for economically weaker sections. We did not get to that because the leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, wanted addressed the situation on the law and order situation in Jammu and Kashmir right now. But as of what was said by Amit Shah right now, in a matter of a few lines already, is the first time in many, many years that you're seeing certain parts of what has been understood as status quo on the status of Kashmir being questioned. Remember, this is something that repeated BJP leadership rounds have taken to the people as part of their manifesto, but this is the first time talk about this has entered Parliament, and perhaps seeing the numbers as they do will be attempted to be moved forward. We will be joined by Sanjay Pugalia of Quintillion Media. Harsha Subramaniam of Bloomberg will be with us shortly as well, and then we'll also have expert opinion for you on this from people who served at the highest levels of the government of India in the Home Ministry in North Block and other key security apparatus organizations. So let's right now take you through what we have. The fact that this is an article that grants, and at that point in 1949 had granted temporary special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, that the laws that govern the rest of the Republic of India, there would have to be certain concurrence with the Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir and the government of Jammu and Kashmir to let those apply. If you remember in its most recent instance, when the laws relating to GST had to apply to Jammu and Kashmir, because those were laws that the state government and its ability to garner revenue, and in the GST model was giving that to the center, that had to move separately in the case of Jammu and Kashmir, as from where the rest of India, it just had to be endorsed by assemblies in the state government, in half of the states in the country. Along with 370, you have another law which makes sure that land in Jammu and Kashmir under Section 35A can only be bought by locals. Whether that, as the courts, or when the Rajya Sabha resumes discussion, whether that is also something that the Home Minister will allude to and see whether he wants to make any changes to that, is something you're going to have to watch out for.
This is a significant announcement. There are three pieces to this. One is that Amit Shah, the Home Minister, is saying that there will be the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Second Amendment Bill of 2019. There are 5 bills listed for consideration in both houses. And he's officially moved the first one, the first resolution that basically makes Article 370 null and void, or at least complete abrogation of Article 370, after which you saw the ruckus in Parliament. The earlier statement made by Ghulam Nabi Azad was, we need the government to explain what is going on in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. 2 former chief ministers have been put under house arrest, or at least they claim to...
And you have 144 applying to unlawful assembly.
Yeah, and Section 144 being imposed. The ask of the opposition was to say, why has the situation been created? Asking the government to explain the situation that's going on in the state of Kashmir.
May I read out the presidential notification?
Go ahead.
So, okay, this is the Constitution Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 2019. And I read and I quote from in the voice of the President. In exercise of the powers conferred by the clause of Article 370 of the Constitution, the President, with the concurrence of the government of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, is pleased to make the following order. The order shall be called the Constitution Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 2019. It shall come into force and shall hereupon supersede Constitution Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 1954 as amended from time to time. All provisions of the Constitution as amended from time to time shall apply in relation to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and the exceptions and the modifications subject to which shall so apply shall be as follows. To Article 367, there shall be added the following clause, namely, for the purposes of this Constitution as it applies to the state in relation to Jammu and Kashmir, references to this constitution or to the provisions hereof shall be construed as references to the constitutions or the provisions thereof applied to as to the said state. References to the person for the time being recognized by the President or the recommendation of the Legislative Assembly of the state as the Sadr Riyasat of Jammu and Kashmir, acting on the advice of the Council of Ministers of the state for the time being, shall be construed as references to the Governor of Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, just getting out of quotes, there is no operational government. The Governor is running the state.
So this is the presidential notification?
This is the presidential notification.
Okay, it's a done deal then.
Yeah.
If this is a presidential notification, if the bill has been moved in Parliament and there is a presidential notification already out, there is no more debate required.
No, there is legislative process to this. That's
correct, but it's a majority. I mean, they have majority in the House, and I'm sure they've already worked out the numbers in the Rajya Sabha as well to ensure this is moved.
You would think that the Rajya Sabha would need higher numbers in. So there are a number of legislative issues on which you had.
Okay. Let's also welcome in Anil Bhatt from PTI. Mr. Bhatt, thank you so much for joining in. What have you made of this move by the Home Minister in Parliament and the situation on the ground in Kashmir?
Yeah, actually, this demand has been quite sometimes being raised by the people, mostly because the state is divided. You have a Jammu that is totally in favor of Article 370 to be scrapped. You have Kashmir that's opposite to it, and Ladakh is also in favor of scrapping Article 370. So there is a regional difference of perceptions on all the regions as far as concerned. In Jammu, it will be welcomed. As far as Kashmir is, mostly curfew has been imposed even in areas of Jammu, Muslim areas of Jammu, like Doda, Poonch, and Rajouri, and Poonch. There is totally these restrictions and curfew and barbed wire have been put up all places.
Second, we have Parliament. Mr. Bhatt, give us just a second. The Rajya Sabha has reconvened. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad just issued a clarification. Let's go back and hear what the proceedings in the Rajya Sabha are right now.
Please, सुनने के लिए तैयार है तो खरी नहीं तो otherwise ऐसे ही चलना पड़ेगा. Point is, so Mr. Derek Kabrat, your leader has raised a point about it. Please sit down. Please sit down. Otherwise, I have to name people. It won't look nice. My point is, Sri Derek Oberyn has raised a point of order, saying, sir, only one bill is distributed. The other bills' copies have not even come. I see the merit in what he said. That's why I said. That's why. Please. You don't want to hear anything. You want to create a disturbance like this. Then I will have to ask the Home Minister to introduce other bills also. Baki bills will create second.
ये जो जम्मू कश्मीर आरक्षण अधिनियम 2004 में संशोधन तथा जम्मू कश्मीर आरक्षण दूसरा संशोधन विधेयक 2019 नाम को में पुरस्कृत किया है। संघ सरकार ने भारत के संविधान के 103वें संशोधन अधिनियम 2019 के तहत आर्थिक रूप से कमजोर वर्गों के लिए शिक्षण संस्थाओं और सरकारी नौकरियों में 10% आरक्षण देने का प्रस्ताव लेकर मैं आया हूँ। यह आरक्षण अनुसूचित जातियां, अनुसूचित जनजातियां, अन्य पिछड़े वर्ग और सीमा के आरक्षण के अलावे ज्यादा 10% आरक्षण आर्थिक रूप से पिछड़े लोगों को दिया जाएगा। आरक्षण का उपयोग लाभ जम्मू और कश्मीर के आर्थिक रूप से कमजोर वर्ग और उसमें जो टैलेंटेड बच्चे हैं वो बच्चों को देंगे, शिक्षा में भी देंगे, नौकरियों में भी देंगे और एक संवैधानिक आदेश के अनुसार जम्मू कश्मीर में इसको 370 के माध्यम से लागू किया जाएगा। इसके अतिरिक्त जम्मू कश्मीर राज्य के मौजूदा आरक्षण के अलावा आर्थिक रूप से कमजोर वर्गों के लिए शैक्षणिक संस्थाओं और नौकरियों में 10% आरक्षण लागू करने के उद्देश्य से जम्मू कश्मीर सरकार ने ये प्रस्ताव किया है, जिसको प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में देश के मंत्रिमंडल ने स्वीकार कर राष्ट्रपति महोदय का अनुमोदन दिया। महोदय, जम्मू कश्मीर की सरकार उक्त प्रस्ताव पर इस मंत्रालय में विचार किया गया मंत्रिमंडल की सिफारिशों के आधार पर राष्ट्रपति ने जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर ये सुधार करने के लिए संशोधन आदेश 2019 नामक 1 मार्च 2019 को पारित किया था। अब संविधान में संशोधन आदेश प्रभावी बनाने के लिए इस उद्देश्य से जम्मू कश्मीर आरक्षण अधिनियम 2004 में संशोधन लाने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि राष्ट्रपति शासन के दौरान विधायी शक्तियां संसद के दोनों सदनों में निहित होती है। अतः जम्मू और कश्मीर आरक्षण अधिनियम 2004 को संशोधित करने के लिए संसद के द्वारा दोनों सदनों के द्वारा पारित किया जाना बहुत जरूरी है। तदनुसार जम्मू और कश्मीर के आर्थिक रूप से कमजोर वर्गों के 10% आरक्षण प्रदान करने के लिए भारत के संविधान के 103वें संशोधन को लागू किए जाने के प्रावधान के बारे में अर्थात जम्मू कश्मीर आरक्षण तीसरा संशोधन विधेयक 2019 ये सदन स्वीकार करे, ऐसे में सदन के सभी सदस्यों को अपील करते हैं।
फर्स्ट यू हियर मी व्हाट आई एम सेइंग। मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ सुनिए। मैंने अनुमति दिया केवल मिस्टर वाइको प्लीज, मैंने अनुमति दिया केवल आरक्षण के बारे में जो एलओपी ने कहा, हमको भी आपत्ति नहीं है, जिसका कॉपी सर्कुलेट किया हाउस में रिजर्वेशन के बारे में कॉपी सर्कुलेट किया, मंत्री जी ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया, मैंने उनको चर्चा के लिए अनुमति दिया। बाकी जो 3 है वो अभी सर्कुलेट हो रहे, सर्कुलेट होने के बाद वो प्रस्ताव रखेंगे, बाद में चर्चा करेंगे। ये जिसमें भी जहां सम्मति है उसके लिए भी तैयार है हम लोग, रिजर्वेशन के लिए भी। पूरा देश में रिजर्वेशन है, उसी रिजर्वेशन को जम्मू कश्मीर में एक्सटेंड करने के लिए। आज सिवा आप अपना सीट में गए, इफ यू गो टू योर सीट आई वुड हैव अलाउड यू इवन नाउ। प्लीज गो। एनीबॉडी वांट टू स्पीक ऑन रिजर्वेशन? राम गोपाल जी, रिजर्वेशन। After Siva want to raise some point of order. Let him go to his seat. I will just allow you 1 minute, Ram Gopal ji, 1 minute. Let Siva go to his seat. Say Ram Gopal Yadav will be given mic. Please, Mr. Rakesh.
सवाल यह है कि जब जम्मू और कश्मीर को आप स्टेट नहीं मान रहे, जम्मू कश्मीर एक टेरिटरी हो गई, लद्दाख दूसरी टेरिटरी हो गई, फिर इसका बिल को बाद में लाना चाहिए था, पहले नहीं, क्योंकि दोनों तरफ आप इसका टेरिटरी बनाने का, तो इस बिल को बाद में ले आइए।
ऐसा है राम गोपाल जी, ये बिल पहले से सर्कुलेट हो चुका था, सभापति महोदय ने इसकी परमिशन दी पहले, इसलिए मैंने प्रस्तुत करा है। वैसे बाकी 3 होते ही ये नॉन एंड वॉल ऑटोमेटिक हो जाएगा। 370 चाहते ही बिल ऑटोमेटिक कानून का हिस्सा बन जाएगा।
I have permitted you. You have not. Your members are coming and sitting here. How can I do it? You can't have the cake and eat it again. Siva, what is Siva? Mr. Siva, you go to your seat, then I will give you. You go to your seat. यहाँ से नहीं होगा.
Sir, when 267 notice was given, sir, you said we can discuss everything on the bill, sir, and nothing is related with the bill and the resolution that was given. And later, sir, Home Minister introduced 2 bills, which was not circulated to us. After he introduced, we got the supplementary list of business. It is totally unprecedented to Parliament. You are the protector of us, protector of the
You have not
privileges.
understood what I have said.
No, sir. It was circulated only later.
Agreed.
Only later. How could that be accepted? Read today.
You
And
need to.
you were raising a point of order. You were raising a point of order even when the minister was introducing.
Mr.
But we were not allowed.
Siva, you have raised a point of order. You want to hear my response?
सर, मैं कहना चाहता हूँ,
जी.
माननीय सदस्य श्री शिवा ने कहा कि ये पहली बार हो रहा है, सदन में ऐसे कभी हुआ नहीं है। मैं बताना चाहता हूं साहब, 38 बार ये आज की नहीं है। और मैं आपके माध्यम सदन के रिकॉर्ड पर रखना चाहता हूं, हम तो जम्मू कश्मीर को सभापति महोदय
You go to your seat. I will not allow him. As long as you are here, I will not allow him. Please go to your seat. You are a doctor.
मेरी बात समाप्त हो जाने दो, डॉक्टर बाद में उनको देंगे। मेरी बात समाप्त होकर आप बोलो।
Let us try to understand the point of order raised by Derek and also the point of order raised by Siva. What you just hear me now? You don't want to hear? You want to dictate? You want to dictate like this? You ask your members to come to their seats first. The point of order is the bill is not circulated. Discussion should not be there. I agree. I am agreeing. But the reservation bill is already circulated. So let us first dispose the reservation bill. One. Secondly, now that all the bills are circulated, I will be asking the Home Minister to again introduce the bill. About the other three bills, you introduce again.
सभापति महोदय, सभापति महोदय,
Chaos in Parliament. There is the Home Minister trying to present the second bill as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, but the opposition obviously creating a ruckus, and you're unable to really hear what's going on. I also have Sanjay Pugalia, editorial director from Quint, now joining us. Sanjay, thanks so much for joining in. So 370 is officially out. What have you made of this and the ramifications thereof for the state of Jammu and Kashmir? Sanjay, if you can hear me, I was asking you, what have you made of this move by the government to abrogate 370 and the implications?
Humongous move, Harsha. What they had promised in their manifesto, they are implementing lock, stock and barrel. This is a big surprise move and shocking as well. You can see in Rajya Sabha, opposition is resisting these amendments that Mr. Amit Shah has placed before the Rajya Sabha. It may go in a long drawn legal battle in Supreme Court, but basically BJP has made its political point, that is 370 was a blunder. We are removing it completely, barring section 1, 371, only one provision remains, everything goes. That means subservient section 35A goes, that gives special status, special privileges to the permanent residents of Valley. So that also goes away. And then via job reservation amendment bill, they try to address to Kashmiri people that they are trying to create job and give more opportunities to you all. But most important thing is that Ladakh now becomes a union territory and Jammu Kashmir becomes a union territory with legislature. That means it mirrors what we have in Delhi. So it is a complete kind of practically politically takeover of Kashmir. Now they will say that it is the final integration of Kashmir into India because there were too many issues. Nehru blunder has now been undone completely. So yeah, they make a political point. This is going to be a long-drawn political debate having international consequences.
One question, Sanjay, the fact that you made that comparison to Delhi, the act that has determined how Delhi's government runs keeps the authority and the functioning of the Delhi police with the union government. Dare I say, if you're drawing that parallel to Delhi, what would the local reaction be were that to happen in Jammu and Kashmir?
Sorry, the anchor is not audible.
No,
I am not able.
Sanjay, I was saying, this is Kaushik here, I was asking if you're making a comparison to how Delhi runs and the fact that the Delhi police is administered from the LG and the Union Home Ministry's office, were that to happen in Jammu and Kashmir, the reaction that we could anticipate on the ground for the fact that you have a central direct hand in how the state police runs?
Because lots of special privileges are now gone. So even if I do not know, I have not got into the details, will the Sadar-e-Riyasat governor will be called governor or lieutenant governor? I assume that he will be called governor, there will be a chief minister, and we are headed towards an election. So just before election, because Mr. Modi can't postpone elections for long. So once this background work is done, then you will go for the election. So basically you will have a union territory with an assembly and a chief minister which will come after the elections.
Interesting that, you're actually seeing a bifurcation take place before us. So Ladakh becomes a separate territory, if I understood right, without a legislature. And Jammu and Kashmir with a legislature will become another union territory. Anil Bhatt from the Press Trust of India is also with us. Anil, sorry, we had to interrupt while you were speaking. You want to go complete your point?
Yeah, actually, this was a demand by the BJP quite some time when Shyama Prasad first landed in 1954, and then he actually started the campaign against the permit system. It started from there, and ultimately when BJP is in the power and has majority, they actually wanted the implementation of their entire strategy on Kashmir, revoking Article 370, 35A, all sections of it. And then reorganization was also their demand, and it was also on their state BJP's actually point for a long period. So what they did is they actually implemented all those demanded, because they were also in the pressure in Jammu that when they have the majority, why don't they actually implement by scrapping Article 370, 35A, reorganization of Jammu, and also delimitation. So these demands, one by one, they have all implemented today, proposed to be revoked, and reorganization of J&K state. These were already for quite some time. And in fact, what is happening is, if you see, you are posing a question. Home Ministry was almost directly running Jammu and Kashmir. During pilot period, during Congress period, there was a Kashmir Ministry. It was run by the Home Ministry itself. So if it's a police mostly, even all directives come from the Home Ministry itself, even for that matter, as far as the state police is concerned. So there will be a kind of, on the pattern of Delhi. The police will be subservient to Union Home Ministry. So most of the decision would be taken by the Home Ministry, because they are already for past 30 years, they have been handling Jammu and Kashmir. And all those decisions which come from actually MHA have been implemented on the ground. So police has been subservient mostly to Union Home Ministry, although there was a political establishment, the democratic setup. But mostly the decisions came from, whether it was intelligence decisions or the political decision, they came generally from the Ministry of Home.
Sanjay, I just want to go back to the fact that you said that you anticipate some legal hurdles for this. When you say that, do you come from the fact that there was a ruling that happened last year on how Article 370 is to be read as part of the Constitution, one. B, and the manner in which this has come as a presidential notification and the new reorganization of the state coming via bills rather than the removal of something being a bill itself. So the process and the legal implications of that, Sanjay.
Kaushik, I have not been able to hear your question completely. I think you are talking about the manner in which this has been done. Look, if you are going on pure legal terms, government can argue that there were two executive orders, presidential orders. For that, I don't need Parliament's approval. And there are two constitutional amendment bills that we have presented before the Parliament for debated and then passed. So they can argue on those lines. But is this the way to do it? Now there will be a huge debate on this. The issue is, and now we are forgetting because the rest of India thinks that Kashmir hamara hai. They forget that there was a contract signed between the two parties. What is happening now that BJP says those terms of contracts do not matter to us. Kashmir, the geography is ours, and there are issues about the special privileges that are given to the states. They were temporary and we have to remove it. So they are going to sell their narrative to the rest of India, and it is going to be a seriously polarizing issue. So I think this could have been done with some kind of debate. But when you have this kind of majority government with second powerful mandate and two aggressive personalities like Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah, you expect such dramatic events and such powerful optics. Another point I want to add, the implication or the international context. Because Trump gave some signals because of Afghanistan issue, because they want to get out of it, they need Pakistan badly. In that case, Pakistan comes on the center stage where they will also start talking about Kashmir and try to internationalize the issue. It was very important to put Pakistan onto the defensive. So I think the international context also has played the role into deciding the timing of the move.
Stay on with us. Ghulam Nabi Azad, the leader of the opposition, the Rajya Sabha, who remember has also been Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir before, is speaking on the House in the House right now. Let's listen.
अपने लीडर खो दिए हैं, अपने वर्कर्स खो दिए हैं, हजारों बल्कि लाखों अगर 47 से ले लें सिविलियंस कुर्बान हो गए हैं। जम्मू कश्मीर को हिंदुस्तान के साथ रखने के लिए बड़ी कुर्बानी के साथ हो। ये पहली दफा अटेम्प्ट नहीं हुई, लेकिन जब जब भी इस तरह की अटेम्प्ट हुई, कश्मीर के अवाम, जम्मू कश्मीर के अवाम, लद्दाख के अवाम हिंदुस्तान के साथ खड़े रहे, हर वक्त खड़े रहे, तो दर्द में खड़े रहे। ये सत्य है, कुछ लोग थे वहां हैं और 47 जो एक्सेशन के खिलाफ
One second.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
1 second.
I'm coming to that.
1 second.
I'm coming to that.
You know my temperament about you and personally about you.
I'm coming
the
to
point is, if you are starting the discussion, I can give you longer time.
Sir,
if you are responding on that,
sir, this is it.
No, if you want to have discussion, I will allow you.
Honorable Chairman, sir. Honorable Chair, sir. This is something historical has happened. Is not ordinary day-to-day functioning of the bills and passage. So far, shut up, Magoda, first deposit 10,000 crore with the bank. First deposit 10,000 crore with the bank. Shut up. Shut up.
You should not go on record. These allegations should not go on record. Both allegations should not go on record.
Corrupted people have corrupted.
Mr. Ramesh, please go to your seat. This will not go on record. Ghulam Nabi, please.
Shut up.
Ghulam Nabi, you can't tell any member like that.
Loot and then
You are a LOP. You are a LOP. Please confine to the issue. Please confine to the issue. Nothing shall go on record. Nothing shall go on record about charges.
repay his bank loan.
No.
He should pay.
No, you can't insert a number like that.
They cannot.
You cannot make false allegation.
Going to the top
of the BJP. And not making the loot.
Your own members also.
They are making loot of the
If you want to say something, say it, otherwise it will not go on record. Even what the GOVT is saying also will not go on record.
Sir, I strongly condemn the act of 2 or 3 members of the parliament, none from my party, and none from us, those who are sitting here. We stand by the Constitution of India. हम हिंदुस्तान के संविधान की रक्षा के लिए अपने जान की बाजी लगा देंगे, लेकिन हम कंडेम करते हैं उस एक्ट को जिसके द्वारा प्लीज शो यू शट अप
मिस्टर वाइको।
सो हम उसको उस एक्ट को कंडेम करते हैं जो हिंदुस्तान के संविधान को जलाते हैं या तो जलाया नहीं या उसको फाड़ते हैं, लेकिन आज बीजेपी ने इसी संविधान का मर्डर भी किया, डेमोक्रेसी का मर्डर किया। जिस संविधान के द्वारा, जिस आर्टिकल 370 के द्वारा हमने हिंदुस्तान को जम्मू कश्मीर दिया, आज उसी संविधान और अजी लोकतंत्र को मोदी सरकार ने खुशियां उड़ा दी। इसीलिए हम दोबारा प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं।
माननीय सभापति महोदय, गुलाम नबी साहब ने कहा कि धारा 370 ऐतिहासिक है। मैं इसके विवाद में जाना नहीं चाहता, मगर मैं जो बिल लेकर आया हूं वो भी ऐतिहासिक है, इतिहास बनाने वाला बिल है। धारा 370 के कारण जम्मू कश्मीर के अवाम आज गुर्बत में जी रहे हैं, गरीबी में जी रहे हैं, उनको रिजर्वेशन का फायदा नहीं मिलता, वहां की महिलाओं के साथ अन्याय हो रहा है, वहां के दलितों ट्राइबल के साथ अन्याय हो रहा है, वहां भ्रष्टाचार पनप रहा है। और 370 की छाया में तीन परिवार ने जम्मू कश्मीर को इतने सालों तक लूटा है। सभापति महोदय, विपक्ष के नेताजी ने कहा, विपक्ष के नेता ने कहा कि धारा 370 ने कश्मीर को भारत के साथ जोड़ा है। माननीय सभापति महोदय, ये सत्य नहीं है। महाराजा हरि सिंह द्वारा 27 अक्टूबर 1947 को अब जम्मू और कश्मीर साइन किया गया। मैं फिर से इसी कहना चाहता हूँ, 27 अक्टूबर 1947 को और धारा 370 1949 में आई, जम्मू कश्मीर छूटने के बाद 2 साल के। ये सत्य नहीं है कि जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत के साथ, जम्मू कश्मीर को भारत के साथ धारा 370 ने जोड़ा है। हकीकत यह है कि जम्मू कश्मीर को धारा 370 ने कभी भारत के साथ एक रस नहीं होने दिया। और मैं सदन को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं, अगर गुलाम नबी आजाद साहब कहते हैं कि ये गैर संवैधानिक तरीका है, तो वाद विवाद करे, शोर शराबा न करे, संविधान की जिस धारा को वो कहना चाहते हैं इसके अंतर्गत चर्चा करने के लिए मैं तैयार हूं। संविधान जब बना तब से धारा 370 को अस्थायी माना गया। क्यों अस्थायी माना गया? अस्थायी इसलिए माना गया माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, क्योंकि कभी न कभी इसको हटना था, बहुत पहले हटना था, मगर किसी में राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति नहीं थी, दृढ़ राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति का अभाव था, वोट बैंक की पॉलिटिक्स करनी थी, इसके आधार पर वोट बैंक बनानी थी। हमें ना वोट बैंक बनानी है, ना हमारे पास राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति का अभाव है। नरेंद्र मोदी जी दृढ़ राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति की कमी है, इसलिए आज कैबिनेट ने इस प्रस्ताव को पारित किया है। सभापति महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से सभी विपक्ष के लोगों को कहना चाहता हूं कि कृपया इस पर चर्चा करिए। देश जानना चाहता है कि इतने समय धारा 370 क्यों चालू रही। देश जानना चाहता है इतने समय कश्मीर के अंदर भ्रष्टाचार क्यों हुआ। देश जानना चाहता है कश्मीर के दलितों को रिजर्वेशन का फायदा क्यों नहीं मिला। देश जानना चाहता है कश्मीर के ट्राइबल को पॉलिटिकल रिजर्वेशन क्यों नहीं मिला। देश जानना चाहता है 35A के तहत कश्मीर की माताओं बहनों को अपने बच्चों को कश्मीरी कहलाने का अधिकार क्यों नहीं मिला। देश जानना चाहता है सभापति महोदय सबसे ज्यादा पैसा कश्मीर के अंदर गया, फिर भी कश्मीर का लोग आज गरीब क्यों है वो देश जानना चाहता है। मैं आपके माध्यम से अपील करता हूं विपक्ष के सभी सभासदों को कृपया चर्चा करिए। आप आपके तर्क बेखौफ रख सकते हैं, शौक से रख सकते हैं। मैं हर एक तर्क का जवाब दूंगा और मैं दृढ़ मान्यता के साथ आया हूं कि धारा 370 हटाने में 1 सेकंड भी देरी नहीं करनी चाहिए। 1 सेकंड।
You want to participate in the debate? Now the debate is open on all 4 issues, but voting will be separate. Voting will be separate. Rangopal, you want to speak? Sri Satish Chandra Misra. Please, others go to your seats. Manoj ji, आप अपना जगह पे जाइए, please.
जम्मू कश्मीर,
You can, one second. Anyone can effectively counter the government. You can oppose, you can protest, you can vote against the bill also.
That's what we are doing. Honorable Chairman, sir.
Sri Satish Chandra Misra goes on record. Sri Satish Chandra Misra goes on record.
हमारी पार्टी पूरी तरीके से समर्थन करती है और हम चाहते हैं कि ये बिल पास होना चाहिए और 370 पे और उस पे जो दूसरा बिल है उसमें हमारी पार्टी कोई विरोध नहीं कर रही है।
Thank you. Now, Sri Satish Chandra Misra has spoken. Now, Sri Professor, ये मित्रों मैं इस विधेयक के लिए 12:30 बजे तक किसी को संशोधन देना है तो उनके लिए मौका दिया मैंने। I have already announced that up to 12:30, any member desires to move any amendment to any clause or subclass, they are free to give it. Before that, the discussion will be going on. Voting will take place only after this discussion is over, one by one, not together. Discussion will be together, but voting will be separate. Please understand this. So I now request Sri Ghulam Nabi Azad ji. Sri Ghulam Nabi Azad ji want participate in debate. Sri Bhupendra Yadav.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, आज इस देश में ऐतिहासिक
मैंने पहले ही कहा इस बिल के लिए 4 घंटा का 4 बिल्स के लिए 4 घंटा का समय दिया है तो we will have time up to that and there won't be any lunch break. Whoever want to have lunch they can go and come back.
हमारे देश में इसलिए है कि आज हमारे माननीय गृह मंत्री जी के द्वारा इस सदन में संकल्प लाए गए हैं, बिल लाए गए हैं जो भारत की एकता और अखंडता को, भारत के विषय को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए और एक ऐसा भारत बनाने के लिए संकल्प लाए गए हैं जहां सबका साथ।
Okay, those are live proceedings from the Parliament. You've heard it. The Article 370 has been scrapped. Anil Budd is still with us. Anil, what are the ramifications politically for the BJP out of this move?
Actually, their demand and their entire manifesto of previous elections, if you go through that, they were actually, all those demands were on their manifesto. And now that the elections is probably going to be held mostly in October, November, and they have actually have a majority now in Jammu, and maybe they will create some kind of apparatus wherein they can carry out delimitation ahead of that, so that more seats can be given to POK refugees, even Kashmiri Pandits or others, so that they have a majority. But it will definitely give them leverage in Jammu and parts of Ladakh. So I feel that this is actually the fulfillment of their promise made to the people in the previous elections. They got mandate, they got 25 seats from Jammu region, and so that was their promise that has been fulfilled now, and they will have the benefits out of it in the next elections, assembly elections here.
Outside the city of Srinagar, Mr. Bhatt, do you anticipate any reaction to this? The fact that for the last 2-3 days we've seen Section 144 imposed in parts of Srinagar. You've had other areas where force deployment has gone up. But do you see any law and order issue come up in the coming days as a reaction to this?
Definitely there will be law and order reaction to it. But if you go through, the political leaders like Mehbooba Mufti has been virtually on the roads for the past 1 week. But she could not draw people out from their homes, so that most of even Farooq Abdullah or Umar Abdullah, they too could not actually garner support from the people. If you can visualize those footages and their public rallies, what they actually Mehbooba Mufti tried to do was to actually in a way incite people so that they come on roads, but that did not happen. Maybe people are disgruntled with this mainstream political parties, and separatists were totally mum. They never issued any statement. So I feel there will be reaction, but as of now, I do not see that type of reaction coming from Kashmir, because if you see last 10 days, these issues, the restrictions and everything had been going on, and this kind of atmosphere was building up, but there was not much reaction from the public in Kashmir Valley.
Interesting. As we speak, Anil, Mehbooba Mufti has just tweeted saying the government of India's intention is clear and sinister. They want to change the demography of the only majority Muslim state in India, disempower Muslims to the extent where they become second-class citizens in their own states. Very quickly, what does this mean for the incumbent political leaders in the state of Jammu and Kashmir? Would they be significantly weakened in the valley?
Yes, definitely. You see, Article 370 or 35A, that were actually a kind of a shield to the political establishment in Kashmir Valley, whether it was Abdullahs or, for that matter, Muftis. They had actually got a kind of a guarantee so that they can continue with that dispensation of theirs. Because it also kept this identity of Muslim identity of Jammu and Kashmir alive. Because Article 370 never wanted the demography to change. But at the same time, so the same political establishment was there, with new people coming in. Maf came lately, then Shah Faisal came. People, actually, a lot more political establishments do churn, but actually the old dynasties like Abdullahs and Muftis, they had leverage of this being a Muslim majority state with this guarantee of Article 370, 35A. So that was a kind of weapon for them. This weapon will definitely weaken them.
Okay. At this juncture, just the way you broke that down, let me take it a point further. From Shah Faisal on one side, Sajad Lod on the other, will this also mark a shift away from those power centers? Because let me hazard a guess, the fact that the BJP has gone ahead, a move that as and when some of these restrictions on assembly lift in Srinagar is likely to be unpopular. When that happens, Mehbooba Mufti carries the stain of having been in alliance with the BJP for 3.5 of the last 5 years. So she has no upside in being able to point to them now when she was in government with them for 3.5 years. So you see a shift away from her as a consequence in the coming elections whenever that happens?
Look, Mehbooba Mufti actually is you can say she is born out of an agitation. She is born out of this conflict. More so because she came down to each village and hamlet and fought against Pota, Tada and other those issues. And before she was actually a congressman. But Muftis did not prosper that way in the political establishment of Kashmir, whether it was becoming chief minister, but post Mehbooba Mufti's agitational activism and reaching out to the youth of Kashmir Valley at that point of time, actually made Mufti Saeed chief minister of J&K. But what happened is, if you see, it was actually Abdullahs who ruled the roost in Kashmir Valley for quite some time because of the axis between Nehru Gandhi and Abdullahs. But lately, several organizations, even for that matter Jamaat, which was then led by the Gilani, they also fought elections against them, then the Pelbiscit Front and others. But most of them failed. There were allegations. After that, you discovered another front which came from Al-Fatah Force, then Jamaat, then so many splinter organizations which were against Abdullahs then. They formed Muslim United Front. And that front, when it failed, Sayyid Salahuddin was part of that front at that point of time. So what happened is, it was kind of allegations being leveled against the National Conference that they are going for rigging. That's what one point of it was, the frustration among the Kashmir youth. So the experiment was laterly after that was the PDP, People's Democratic Front, which was almost on the same analogy of the Muslim United Fronts. They have the same constituent people. Post that, now there is Sajad Loan, there is Shah Faisal, they have come. So you have from unipolar Abdullahs to bipolar Muftis and Abdullahs, and then now multipolar system that will disintegrate the political establishment in Kashmir Valley. So it will be difficult for Mehbooba Mufti to reach out to the people because South Kashmir is already deadly against her post, in fact, entering alliance with the DJP.
All right.
All right, Mr. Bhatt, we'll leave it there. We'll step into a short break at this juncture. If you've just tuned in, the government has scrapped Article 370, or at least is sought to scrap Article 370 in many of its provisions. There are significant implications on the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir has been termed a union territory, has been proposed to be termed as a union territory with a separate legislature. Ladakh has been bifurcated and will be a union territory without a legislature. We'll come back with a lot more reactions to the significant announcement made by the government.